My name is Amy. I'm the Director of Go-to-Market at Vendasta, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for joining us. Yesterday afternoon, the Vendasta Insider went out. Now, if you don't know, it's a monthly newsletter for all of you, our partners, to be kept informed of what's new this month. If you didn't receive it, I'm going to share the sign-up page link with you in the chat right now. Make sure you add your email and your contact info if you are not already on the list. So give me 1 minute while I send it out. Okay, you should have got that. So in one word, what Vendasta can do for you is to help your company grow. Through working with so many of you and our own growing pains, we've discovered that there are really 6 pillars of growth. It all starts with the foundational products or services you offer. Next, generating demand for those products is key. The best part, of course, making the sale. But your work isn't done there. Now you must scale to ensure that what you've sold will get and retain those customers you work so hard to sell. And finally, expansion, selling to more people more often to make more money. So I'm going to show you how this month's releases that you hopefully received in the November Product Insider tie to each one of these pillars. So the theme for November and why we're all here is to grow your business with email marketing. Without a doubt, the absolute highlight of our November releases, the reason we're all here today, is Constant Contact. Now available through Marketplace, you can resell email marketing with Vendasta. Whether your clients want to send a holiday message, increase brand awareness, or promote an upcoming event, email marketing is the strategy they need. Now, I personally work with so many of you partners, and we have done over the years a number of surveys. Marketplace is not a new initiative, but a few years old with Vendasta, and we always want to know what solutions, what services, what products you want. Without a doubt, email marketing was the #1 solution you asked for. So now it's here. So first up, we have a new white label email marketing video you can use to generate demand.
Hi, my name is Michelin, and I'm here to talk to you about email marketing and how it's the missing piece in your competitive digital marketing strategy. Email marketing is the process of creating a well-crafted email for your business. Whether you need to distribute newsletters, promotional materials, or simply want to wish your customers happy holidays, email marketing is a great way to do that. It generates more traffic to your website, to your social media profiles, to your review sites, all while creating more brand awareness for your company. You might be thinking, there's no way that email marketing can be successful now that social media has taken over, right? Well, you might be surprised to know that that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, 90% of adult internet users would actually like to receive promotional materials from a business they've subscribed to. Better yet, 70% of adults have a social media account, but 90% of adults have an email account that they're actually checking regularly. Depending on your strategy, there are a few ways you can customize your email marketing campaign to get better engagement. Number 1, newsletters. Update your customers on new or current offerings through a newsletter. Regardless of the kind of business, an informational newsletter with engaging graphics and promotional items can work for any small business. Number 2, event emails. Are you hosting a gala? Maybe you're taking part in a charitable event. Use emails to distribute that kind of information to your customers. Some small businesses, like those in the restaurant industry, host special events each and every month. And a monthly email provides the right platform to distribute that kind of information. Number 3, sales campaigns. Regardless of the time of the year, many small businesses have monthly and quarterly sales campaigns. Whether you're wanting to give a discount on a favorite item, a coupon for your most loyal customers, or maybe you're trying to promote an item that isn't selling too well. Sales campaigns are a great way to increase your revenue. Number 4, holiday emails. Lastly, Don't forget to communicate with your customers around major holidays. Although you might be using social media to do the same thing, a custom Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas email goes a long way. While it may seem like just another email, a well-crafted email marketing campaign can have a big impact on your digital marketing strategy. Start attracting new customers with email marketing today.
We also added task management to Sales and Success Center to help manage your sales pipeline, set priorities, and stay organized. Along with the release of Constant Contact, the product, we also have an add-on, Managed Email Marketing Service, where our in-house content team can create tailored campaigns for your clients. Through UI adjustments and optimized responsiveness, we improve the speed and functionality in social marketing. And I can't forget to mention that we are ready to unveil our next conference to all of you, Conquer Local 2019. It'll take place from June 10th to 13th in San Diego. Visit Conquer Local 2019 for more information. I'm just getting a quick question here. Give me one moment, please. There we go. Oh, I forgot to actually send the link to that video. So there you go. You should all have it now. Now, those 6 pillars, circling back to the 6 pillars of growth. First off, and most importantly, we're incredibly excited to launch Constant Contact as a new product and marketplace. You can use the white label email marketing video I just shared to help generate demand. Task management in Sales and Success Center will help your sales teams manage that demand. You can scale your services by employing Vendasta's in-house content team to manage your clients' email marketing campaigns. The improvements to social marketing will help you retain clients. And of course, we invite you to join us for our 2019 conference, Conquer Local. This will help you gain insight on how to expand your business. All right, so moving on, let's get to it. The reason you're all here today, Vendasta is incredibly excited to announce that Constant Contact is now available to all of you, all of our partners, to sell through Marketplace. I have 2 very special guests from Constant Contact here with us today. Ryan and Jenna, thank you so much for being with us. Do you want to give a quick intro?
Hey, Amy, thanks for having us on today. I'm excited to be here to kick off this great partnership with Vendasta. Just to let everyone know, I'm the Associate Marketing Manager for Constant Contact's Integration Partner Program, and I've been with Constant Contact for 4.5 years, working with some of our key partners, building marketing programs that are designed to benefit you guys as well as Constant Contact. So I will say you guys are in excellent hands today. When I first started at Constant Contact 4.5 years ago, Jenna was the one to train me on Constant Contact. So you're learning from the best in the biz.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Jenna Schaefer. I'm a national product trainer with Constant Contact. I've been with the company for 10 years. I can't even believe it. But my role at Constant Contact is to train marketing professionals and small businesses how to not only use email marketing and Constant Contact as a service for their business, but how to leverage the program to its fullest to really help them make the most money, to see the most success, and just to do better business in general. So I am happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, you guys. Now, for all of you listening on the line, Ryan is going to be answering some questions. So all throughout the webinar, and especially towards the end, if you have questions, type them into the chat, into the Q&A sort of section. And shortly, Jenna is going to take us through a very amazing product demo. So email marketing is a smart, affordable way to stay connected with clients so you can grow your business. In fact, marketers still consider email the best way to get new followers and to keep them. Now, it's clear that email is everywhere, but what does it mean for your business, your clients? Why is it necessary? So email marketing has 3 times the conversion rate as social media. So the time that's spent to create and send an email will reap much higher rewards. For every $1 spent on email marketing, there is a $38 average ROI, which means the money spent on email marketing budget will come back multiple times over. Some people might think the inbox is cluttered, but if you're not there, the competitors are. Now, email marketing is really hard to beat. What is the one thing you need when signing up for any social media account? An email address. 91% of people check their email daily. 88% regularly check their email on their smartphones. You'd be surprised to learn, and I was too, that's more than social media or videos. Now, email marketing is definitely hard to beat. It's everywhere these days. Everything from updates from your bank or service provider to messages from, mom or the kids, and of course, promotional messages. Oh, sorry. And it's reliable. Email gets delivered 90% of the time. And Facebook posts really just reach 2% of fans. So if you're not already sold on email marketing, I hope you are now. So why should you use Constant Contact? I feel as though you all know the answer to this. That's why you're here. But they are the leading expert in email marketing for over 20 years. First-time users prefer creating emails with Constant Contact 4-to-1 over top competitors. 97% of Constant Contact's emails hit customers' inboxes. That is a ridiculously high deliverability rate. Constant Contact includes over 100 mobile optimized, easy to use, customizable email templates. There's a really easy drag and drop editor. I was actually playing around with it right before this webinar. Real-time reporting, of course, and really powerful list building tools and integrations that will provide more impact. And there's expert advice and live support. Their team is fantastic and can help with virtually anything. Now, there's two different plans, so to speak, with Constant Contact, and both are available through the marketplace. And here are some key differences between the two. The email plan has those templates, unlimited email sends, automation, tracking and reporting, segments, resends to non-openers, that's a big one, integrations and apps, that award-winning support that we all love, marketing calendars, Facebook lead ads, list building tools, and 1 gigabyte of file storage. Now, the Email Plus has everything I just mentioned, and in addition, email automation around birthdays and anniversaries, and this really cool thing they call action blocks. So this is where you're sort of creating an email, and you can drag and drop this block in that will get the recipient to take an action, whether it's a coupon, a donation they're giving, RSVPing to an event, polls, and of course, those integrations like Shopify and Eventbrite. Something that I always do, and I really feel is an industry standard, is subject line A/B testing. That's available through the Email Plus. Dynamic forms, a bit more storage, events, and surveys. Now, I'm going to drill a little bit deeper into some of the Plus features, the ones that I particularly love as a marketer. Now, email automation makes it easy to send a welcome email to new contacts, and you really want to make that first impression count. You can set up emails in a series for similar customers, like contacts in the same area, or customers who attended an event, and even segment contacts based on the content they click to create more targeted lists and send more relevant emails. When it comes to surveys and polls, you start with the pre-written questions, and you can tweak them or craft your own. Choose from 7 survey question types: multiple choice, open-ended, sliding scales. And once you add logo and colors, that survey really looks like it came from the business. So collecting donations, depending on the type of clients that you have and the type of businesses you're working with, this is really powerful. It's incredibly easy to build a mobile responsive donation page. It's really designed to get one-time or recurring donations from generous donors. You start with a drag and drop donation action block. You follow the prompts to create a landing page where the contacts can make donations. Write a description of why the cause is so important, set the fundraising goal, and upload images, change colors, add a button, and do more. This whole process right here, I would want to say would take, just a few minutes. So it's really easy. Jenna's going to show us that. And now coupons. As a professional marketer, I really feel like I should be immune to this sort of stuff, but I love coupons. They are a great way to drive sales and get more traffic. There's no easier way to get a coupon seen than through email marketing. Now, did you know, and I was not that shocked to learn this because I'm one of the 7 in 10 people will use a coupon within a week of receiving it. Somehow my mind tricks me into thinking that using a coupon is saving money and not spending money. Now, events. Packed events are really good for growing businesses, any type of business. Start by creating the invitation, send it out, and then when attendees register through the webpage's custom form, registrations are received in real time. Now, I just briefly went over a couple of the highlights of Email Plus, but there's so many more of these features. Now, we need to touch on constant contact pricing through Vendasta because it's something a little bit different. All of you partners on the line, most of the products you've purchased through Marketplace are one-time set monthly cost. Now, we bill at Vendasta the same way that Constant Contact does, by list size. So depending on the number of contacts, the list size, the monthly pricing will vary. So this table here shows what USD pricing is like. And yes, it is slightly less than going direct. For example, Email Plus for a list size of 400 will cost $38 USD. That's the wholesale price to you, our partners. Now, if your client, the business, is just using the product, you're just reselling them the product and nothing else, you can mark it up to about $45. That $45 is the retail rate, is what's listed online. Now, I can't not mention the fact that the real opportunity with email marketing in terms of margin and revenue is the ability for you, our partners who know your businesses and your clients so well, to take this fantastic product and sell it as a service. So whether you're creating an email a month for your businesses or working with them over the holiday season, which is just about now, Black Friday is coming up, the holidays are coming up, that's where there's real potential to charge hundreds and even thousands on email marketing. Now, again, pricing is based on list size, not the number of emails. You can really send an unlimited number of emails. The list size and the monthly charges are dependent on the number of unique email addresses. So the contacts only count once, regardless of how many lists they belong to. So if, say, my email address, agill@vendasta.com, is part of the contact list, I can be put in multiple lists. I can be a first-time customer. I really like spin class and whatever else. I can be emailed to multiple times, and it's not charged those multiple times. It's charged based on my unique email. Now, the monthly charges will be determined by the highest tier reached in the last completed billing cycle. So there's going to be a new tab in Marketplace. It's going to be called Product Settings, and you can go there to see what each of your business clients who you've sold Constant Contact to, which tier they're on. Or sorry, how big their list size is, I should say. All right, so I'm going to pass controls over to Jenna, who's going to take you through a riveting live demo. Jenna, it's all yours.
Fantastic. So I am going to go ahead and just give me 1 second to log into that account. Make sure that you guys can see my screen. And Amy, will you just give me a go ahead if we're good to go, if you can see the screen there?
Yeah, it looks great. You're on holiday email?
Yes, we are. Okay, perfect. So there are a lot of different things that Amy covered that I would love to show you today. Unfortunately, we're not going to have time to go into every single thing, but what we're going to do, I'm going to start out by creating an email, and then if we have time, I'll at least point out where you can find some of those other features and tools that she had mentioned that are so great to use. I highly encourage to use all of those. So what we're going to do, we're going to start out by clicking on this big orange create button in the upper right-hand corner of the account. And this is going to take you into a menu of campaign types to choose from to be able to create. So as she mentioned before, email automation with those birthday and anniversary emails. We have event registration and surveys. You can create all of those as well. Today, our focus is going to be on creating an email. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Now it's going to take us to the template selector page. The first page it brings you to is to make a copy of any emails that you've created previously. So I could just click on this and make a copy of what I've done before and save a little bit of time that way. Or I can click on the standard link. And this is going to bring me into a menu of different templates I can choose from. And you'll see here there are different holidays, there are different industries. So depending on the client that you're working with, you could even kind of filter for their industry. But keep in mind that all of these are completely customizable. So regardless of the industry that they're working in, regardless of what is it that you're trying to create for them, they all can be customized and modified. So don't be too deterred by what the template itself is called. They're very, very flexible. Okay, and you'll see the search window up here if you wanted to type in a search criteria. What I'm going to do just for the sake of training is click on this basic newsletter template so you can see how to go from start to finish. And it's really quite simple. When you first come into the email editor, the very, very first thing you want to do is to rename the email in the upper left-hand corner, just because if you start to create a lot of different emails for your clients, it might be hard to find or kind of filter throughout those emails if you want to go back and copy one. So just be able to identify which one is which. So I'm going to name this Vendasta demo. And then to customize the email, just to give you a brief tour of what the email editor looks like before we start to really customize it, you'll notice that each template is made up of overlaying blocks. So as I hover over the different sections, you'll see that it kind of highlights those different sections and blocks within my email editor. Now, what I can do with these blocks here on the right-hand side, I get two different function buttons. So I can move blocks using the four-way arrow to reorganize the information within my email. And then I get a settings button. And this settings button allows me to change the background color for that particular block if I wanted to. Now, I will say this, we have a design section here on the left-hand side, and I typically wait to change colors within this section just because these are more global changes. That being said, if you did want to change that background color, just click on the settings button and click on the paint can to choose your color. You can also copy a block and delete blocks. Okay, so if I really wanted to, I could go in, I could even click on the block itself. You'll see that you get a formatting bar to work with. I can click on the trash can button within that as well to delete anything that I don't want. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pretend like I wanted to choose this template, but I kind of want to start from scratch, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're going to use the build section here to the left-hand side, that's our very first tab, to rebuild the template that we want. Now you'll see up at the top, we have some smaller components to build out the email template. We have the action blocks that Amy mentioned before, which we'll get to in a second. I like to start out with the layouts down at the bottom. So it's kind of starting from the larger portions and then working your way to the smaller portions. So from here, I can simply choose the types of content that I want or the layouts that I want and simply click and drag into the email. You'll see a pink identifier line, which is telling you where you're going to drag and drop that element into your email. Okay, now if I wanted to rebuild the email template using smaller components, I can certainly do that. I can click and drag the text in, I can bring in an image next to it. So just look for that pink identifier. That's going to tell you exactly where you're putting that element. And again, if you drop something in and you don't like it there, just click on that element and delete it out. Maybe I wanted more of a columned look. You'll see I get the pink line up against the border on the left-hand side, and I could create more of a columned look and really kind of adjust the width of my columns in that case. So the flexibility with our drag and drop template is much more flexible than anything else that you'll see out there. It's fantastic to really get the look and feel that you want for your client. I do want to point out as well, we have this more section. So under the build tab, click on more and you'll see even more options to add within your email. And these are some of the most important elements that you can bring into your email. For example, social. So Amy mentioned before that email has a much higher conversion rate than social media. However, they're really most powerful when used together. So you do want to make sure that it's a great way to start a conversation, pique the curiosity of your audience in your email, and then drive them to those social pages where they can interact with you, answer those questions, comment on your pictures, so on and so forth, which also kind of builds your algorithm on Facebook or on those different social sites, right? You can also, with the social icons, and I'm just going to bring in another one here. If I click to edit these social icons, I can also make them share buttons. So not only am I driving my audience to my social pages or my clients' social pages to interact with my clients, but I can also encourage my readers or the recipients of the email to share the email with their family members and their friends. So you're really expanding your reach and building the brand awareness for your clients there. Okay, now moving on to the action blocks here, depending on whatever it is that you're trying to do, and we always say the very first thing that you do when you build an email is to create or to set a goal, right? Am I trying to increase conversions or build revenue? Am I trying to get more brand awareness? What is it that I'm really trying to accomplish here? And these action blocks are going to help you accomplish those goals. So for example, and especially with the holidays coming up, promotions or coupons are always fantastic to give. You can bring in whatever action block it is that you want. Simply click and drag that in there. The create coupon, and I'm not going to go through this. It'll take us a little bit too much time, but it'll take me to a landing page where I can then customize my my coupon, right? So I can go in that and add that in there. Or if I'm looking to maybe host some sort of event and I want to get a head count, I can ask my audience, are you coming to my event? Or you can retitle that to whatever it is that you want it to do, but give them certain answers. All of these types of action blocks will collect those types of reporting in your email report. So you'll be able to see who said, yes, I'm coming to your event, and I can follow up with them in that type of email afterwards. Or if I insert a poll, I can see who said, no, I really didn't like the last product that you released, right? Or I didn't like the download that you gave us. And then you can follow up with that audience appropriately. So these are not only encouraging your audience to take action, but it's giving you the information you need afterwards to be able to follow up appropriately and target market in the future. Moving on to the images tab. This is where we can add a little bit more engagement within our emails. So images and videos are the most engaging pieces of content that you can add into an email. So regardless, people are going to click on them. That's just kind of the dirty little secret about email marketing these days, is that nobody actually reads text. They look for things to click on and engage with. So images and videos are great to do that. I can simply click and drag them directly into the placeholders, or you don't have to put them in the placeholders. If you want to put them elsewhere, you can do that too. Again, just look for that pink identifier line. From there, you can resize in the lower right-hand corner. In the lower left-hand corner, you can remove or add padding, which is the little space around your image. When I click on my image, I get the opportunity to link my image to a web page, an email address, or a document. So if you have some downloads, some white papers, some guides that you want to give your email recipients, maybe some exclusive discounts, and you want to drive them to a document to learn how to claim those, you can do all of that. In this case, I'm going to link my logo to my website. So I'm just going to give an example website here. Now, anything clickable within the emails, and this is one of my favorite features within our email editor. It's so helpful when learning how to target market and segment your audience. It's this tool called click segmentation. Anything clickable within your email, whether that's a text link, a button, an image, you can make sure that when somebody clicks on it, they automatically merge into a specific interest list. So for this example, if somebody's clicking to go to my website or on my logo, I can say, okay, I can add them to list 1, 2, or 3 here. Or if I want to create a brand new list and say, these are people who are visiting my website, that will automatically take place once they click on that active link. Now, even more powerful to add on to this is, and we have a little disclaimer here just to remind you to do it, but if you set up an automated series. And just like Amy mentioned before, we have those autoresponder emails. When somebody is added to that specific list, you can have a set of emails set up ahead of time to trigger out to that audience about that specific topic. So that way you kind of set it and forget it, and you start to nurture those recipients about that particular interest. So it's a great way to, again, kind of target market, send relevant information, and boost open and click-through rates because you're being specific about what you're sending to which audiences. Okay, so I can link those up. If I wanted to add in other images as well, we do allow you to add in GIF images. So if you wanted to have more animation, a little bit more engagement, they look like videos even, you can add those within your email as well. These are always highly clicked on and engaged with, and we have lots of tools and resources to help you learn how to do that if you'd like to. Today we won't go into those, but just we can send those over to Amy if you'd like to get that information. But again, just click on those elements. You can realign your images. I can link these up. So if I did actually want to link this to a video, I could link that here. And you could link it to YouTube, your Facebook page, your website to increase search engine optimization. Again, you want to add that click segmentation and saying, okay, this topic or this video was about, helpful social tips. I could say social hints and tips list. Okay, just depending on what it is that they're clicking on, you'll want to add them to that type of interest list. Okay, so really, really easy to add in those visual elements. Now to the design portion, this is where you can add the brand. You really want to make sure that your client's brand is present within the email itself. So each section has its own little color palette here to change the colors. I can click on those color palettes and choose from a set standard of colors that we have. Or if you want to go under more colors and you have the hex values, which is a 6-digit code for a color, if you have those 6-digit code or the hex values for your client, you can simply just add that in there and change those colors. I have in my recent colors, I have those colors as well. So I can just go in quickly. If you're doing this for a client on a regular basis, those should, excuse me, those should stay pretty present there and should always stay within the email editor there. One thing I forgot to add, which is super important, are some calls to action, right? I want to make sure that I have some calls to action within my email so they can take action on whatever it is that I'm talking about. If you do want to change those certain elements as well, you can click on the elements there, the buttons in this case, and you can change the colors simply by clicking on those elements too. So you don't have to do all within design. You can click in to each section. And what's nice is we have inline editing. So you can just click from section to section and type whatever it is that you need to say. You don't have to click save or cancel. Right? And then again, if you want to link those items up, simply click on the link, what type of link it is, and then add in that URL. And then again, always use click segmentation. If you never use those segments in the future, that's okay, right? But there's always the case where you think to yourself, oh shoot, I really wish I had that group of people that I wanted to send to. So I always say, just make as many click segmentation lists as you want to. If you don't use them, it's not a problem. You don't end up, it's not like you're paying more for that. It's just based off of the list size, but it's always great to have on hand if in case you decide you want to send to that type of audience, okay? Now what's really cool within this section, within the design section too, is we allow you to have patterns in the background. So we give you a number of patterns that you can work with or add to your emails, or if you wanted to add in your own background patterns, you can upload your own files. So the holidays are coming up, maybe I wanted to add in some holiday theme to my email. I can always do that, okay? Super easy and simple. It's just as simple as that, going through these 3 different tabs, adding in those elements, and then obviously going in and changing the text and what you want to say. A couple of things before you send out, Make sure you change your header options up at the top to change your subject line and your pre-header text. Your subject line should be 4 to 7 words or less than 36 characters, just so it doesn't get cut off in the inbox. You can personalize your subject line and make it more fun and stand out in the inbox by adding emojis if you'd like to. So have found, statistics have shown emails with emojis in them produce about 57% higher open rates than those that don't. That being said, use them appropriately. Don't use them too excessively. It can be a little tacky in that sense, okay? So I can add in some emojis if I'd like to. If you wanted to customize or personalize your subject line, you can add a contact detail about your audience. So in this case, I want to add in their first name. There is a secondary text or a fallback option. So if in case you don't have that information on file, you'll still be able to customize it and personalize it a little bit more. And now that's in there, okay? And you'll see here, it gives you a little preview of what that looks like up at the top. When you're satisfied, go ahead and click on Save. Now, another one of my favorite features that we've just come out with is the check-in preview section. So this is a place where I can preview my email, not only in a desktop version, but I can also switch to a mobile device to see what that'll look like on a phone to make sure that that's exactly what I want it to look like. I can make any adjustments if I need to. I can also send myself in up to 5 different email addresses, a test email, and it keeps it in a draft status. So if in case you need to go back and edit something, you can do that. Okay, and then I can send that off. Now, the other really great thing about check and preview is this check for errors. This is so, so cool. When you click on this, it's going to scan your email and it's going to say, hey, there are some things that you need to change or modify before you send out. For instance, this one says you have a link that you have not hyperlinked. So download the guide. I haven't actually made that a link yet. I would need to go in and maybe add in some sort of document, right? Once that's done, it checks out. Now this one is saying you have content in there, but it's placeholder text. It's just default text. You haven't done anything with it. So I need to make sure that I go in and change that default text. Once I've done that, all right, we're all set to go. You have everything linked up. Everything looks good. Go ahead and click continue to send out. Now, when you're ready to send, you can select a list of existing contacts that you've already created, or if you wanted to create new segments, you can do that too. I know that sometimes on the fly, you're thinking, oh, this would be great to send to a list of people who have opened any of my past 5 emails or clicked on the links within my past 5 emails, who are also a part of this list and who were added to my subscription list within the past 30 days, right? We always kind of think of that on the fly. You are now able to create those segments within the send screen if you'd like to, or you can do that in the contacts tab of your account, but that's now available as well. So I select the list I want to send to. This is the A/B split test tool that Amy was talking about. If I wanted to test out whether maybe my subject line is better with or without emojis and personalization, I can certainly test that out by saying, okay, I want 40% of my audience to receive version A and 40% to receive subject line B. And then after, let's say maybe 24 hours, whichever one gets the best results, the remaining 20% will receive that email, or that subject line, I should say. So you can play around with that. The one thing I do want to encourage you to do if you're using this feature is to be consistent with how you're testing that. So if in case, you know, in this instance, I'm saying version A has the personalization and the emoji. I want to make sure every email I send out, version A always has that emoji and that personalization, just so you can see when you look back on those reports, which, you know, what factor really did increase or make an impact on that send. Okay, now another really cool feature, and I'm actually going to have to turn A/B split test off in order to do this, but is the resend to non-openers tool. So about 80% of your email opens are going to occur within the first 48 hours of your send. So beyond that, what we're saying is after that 48 hours, you then have the opportunity to resend the exact same email, but to the people who may have missed out on it. So the people who didn't open it, maybe they overlooked it or they didn't have time to read it, whatever the case is, they just didn't get to see that email. We're going to send them the exact same email, but 3 days after. What I would encourage you to do is to make sure that you absolutely change the subject line. We don't want them to know this is the exact same email, right? But we do want to give them a second chance to see our offer. I'm going to change that subject line, and then it will tell me when that second chance email is going to be sent. Okay, and then you can look for those boost in open rates and click-through rates. It's not going to be super astronomical, but you're definitely going to get a good chunk of people that are added to those open rates and those click-through rates. So that's really fantastic as well. Now we have just a few minutes left. A couple of things that I do want to make sure that you are aware of. One are the sign-up forms that we have. So if you click on the sign-up forms tab at the upper left-hand corner of your account, you can add as many sign-up forms to the account as you want to. So I can have a pop-up form that displays on my website after a certain amount of time that you designate, an inline or embedded form, or a separate landing page. And these are all subscription pages, so this is helpful in basically assisting your clients to grow their lists, increase their visibility digitally, and to reach more people, right? The more people you have on your list, the more opportunity you have for people to come in and purchase from you, or for those nonprofit clients that you have out there for them to donate or participate in their cause, right? One of our newest subscription or sign up tools is a Facebook lead ad. Now this is awesome because you've all seen on Facebook those boosted posts, right? Where they paid to play and they are there and you're seeing it because they paid for it. Facebook lead ads now allows you to create within Constant Contact a Facebook lead ad to get people to subscribe to the list. So you can give them some sort of great offer to subscribe to the list. Again, I encourage you to use some sort of email automation afterwards. So after, whether it's Facebook lead ad or pop-up forms, any of these subscription tools, after they sign up, they automatically get a welcome email and then maybe some sort of discount or offer for subscribing. Okay, there has to be some sort of value there in order for them to subscribe. But be aware that these are here, and what's great about them is they're a part of the account. So at the very basic level, you're paying for it just within that subscription, or your client is. However, if you're doing it for your client, this is something that you could possibly upcharge for them, right? If you also set these tools up, you can make a little bit more money when you're billing them as well. Okay, we also have, again, all of these tabs here at the top. These are going to be different tabs. Just the campaigns tab allows you to kind of categorize and build out folders so you can separate and find campaigns easier. Your contacts tab is where you can upload and manage your contacts. So we have our different lists over here. If we wanted to, we can create more lists. Our reporting tab will give you a sense of, and I don't know if I have any reports in here, but this is a test account that I used to demo in. So, but it'll give you a good sense as to, over the past 90 days, how are we doing? What are some average open rates and how are we doing compared to that? You can also compare your campaigns to see, okay, which campaigns that we're sending out for our clients, which ones are doing better. That will tell you a lot about what their subscription base is wanting from that audience. And then last but certainly not least is our integrations tab. So we're not always just trying to add more integrations, but we're trying to add in the best solutions and the best integrations for you. So if you're using other tools, CRM systems, point of sale systems, we're always trying to add those in there. These are probably our most popular ones. However, if you don't see one that you are using, go ahead and click on visit our marketplace in the lower section there, and most likely just type in a keyword, and most likely we do integrate with some sort of system that you're using. If not, call into our support channel, and we can certainly find out if we have an integration with those different tools that you're using. But with that, I think I did it. I think I showed it all within 15 minutes.
You did great, Jenna.
Pretty impressed with myself.
There's so much to really go through. There's so much you guys do.
There really is. So, and I would just say, just another plug here, if you need help or if you want to learn more, in the upper right-hand corner, we have this help section. Just type in whatever topic it is that you're wanting to learn about. We have lots of really great FAQs, and then it'll also give you, so for example, if I wanted to learn about creating this, I can open this up in a new tab, but we have tons of tutorials, webinars, downloads, guides. I mean, the knowledge and education you get with us is endless. So don't be afraid to call in and ask questions or to get help. We're here to help you out with that.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm gonna take control over the screen, Jenna, is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you see, it says marketplace vendors here. Is that working?
Yes,
awesome.
I can see it.
So for all of you on the line listening, now is a great time to type in any questions if you still have some. In the meanwhile, I just briefly want to show you, I'm sure you guys all know this, but where Constant Contact currently lives in Partner Center and how to access some crucial information. So this is your dashboard. I'm also in a test account, so if you see anything weird, just ignore it. Marketplace, discover products. Let's look for Constant Contact. Oops. Got to spell it right. There we go. And we put in a lot of work. A lot of the Constant Contact team helped us with this to make this page as rich and full of resources for you as possible. So there's a great video. There's screenshots of what their product looks like. The differences between email and email plus, a ton of really great files. I'll be adding some more to that shortly. And what I really want to show you guys, and to make sure that you know that you have, currently for Constant Contact, Vendasta bills in USD, Canadian, and Australian dollars. So we built this cool little HTML chart to really make it very apparent the pricing that's based on list size. So for argument's sake, let's look at the Canadian dollars pricing. So it's $22 wholesale at that first list size tier for you, our partners. We recommend you sell it for $26, which is the retail price, and that's if you're selling the email plan. So there's a lot you can sort of look at here. You'll also notice that when you go to a certain list size over 10,000, those prices do become the same. So at some point, depending on the type of client you have or the businesses you're working with, you would know their list size. You could recommend a particular plan. Now, like I mentioned, the billing is all based on list size. So throughout the course of a month, if you have a client who jumps from 50 people on their list to 3,000, you're going to want to know about that. So we have a new tab in Marketplace and Partner Center. So you say Marketplace, Discover Products, Manage Store, and Product Settings is the new tab. So as we continue to introduce more products that go through this sort of pricing where it's based on usage, we'll add more products here. But you click on Constant Contact. Again, this is just a test account, but you could see for each one of those businesses you've sold what their current tier is, the wholesale price, and also the retail price. All right, so we will open it up to questions now, and I see quite a few have come in. The first one, and I always get asked this, but I love answering it. Is this being recorded by Tim? Absolutely. All of our webinars are recorded, and they will be uploaded to our resource center within about 24 hours. So you will all also receive an email of the recording. Karen asks, is this a white labeled version of Constant Contact, or will your clients know? As of right now, all Vendasta Marketplace products are branded to their original brand. So if you are, Karen, if you're just selling this as a product to your clients and not a service, yes, they will know that it's Constant Contact. Steve asks, were these prices for managed service or DIY? So let's go back to this. Discover products, because that is an excellent point. This price you see here is all for the DIY. So it's just for the product, whether you're using the product or you're selling it to your client. Now, next week's webinar is going to be all about the add-on that we have, which is the managed email marketing service. And that would be the service on top of the product cost. So yes, Scott, there is a do it for me option, and that would be this managed email marketing service. If you go to vendasta.com/webinar, that's where our schedule is. That's where you can go sign up for next week's. We have a whole team who's managing this side of things, and they can answer your questions much better than I can. Marie asks, can you provide the list of retail pricing Constant Contact provides so we're sure we match it? Marie, so that's actually in this chart right here. That $20 is the retail price. That $45 is the retail price. So it should all be in the product page. I'm going to mispronounce your name. I apologize. Lisa. And this one I will read out loud and leave it for one of you, Jenna or Ryan, to answer. If I have a customer on 2 lists and I send a campaign to both lists, will that customer get 2 emails, or does it recognize that it is a duplicate?
It will recognize that it's a duplicate. So you can send to, and this is what's great about not only the pricing, but the send capabilities, is we want to encourage you to create as many segmented lists as possible. That way you're sending more relevant content to more relevant audiences. In that case, if you have one person, but their email address is on multiple lists, so it applies to those multiple lists, we will cross-reference and make sure that they're only getting 1 email. But it's based off of the unique email address, not the person. That makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jenna. I think that is the last of the questions. I'll stay on the line. We'll also in line for the 30 seconds in case there's any more. Is that cool, Ryan and Jenna?
Absolutely.
Oh, I see Danielle. I have a question. We will wait for you to type it out. If we are using 2 different lists, is it 2 charges? Jenna, can I leave that to you?
Sure. So if you're using 2 different lists and all of those email addresses on both lists are totally different, then it's based off of unique email addresses, the list, the size of those unique email addresses. So if you have duplicates, if you have the same email address in both lists, it still only counts as just 1 email addresses. So it's not going to be 2 different charges. You can have as many lists as you want to within the account and send out as often as you'd like to. Think of it as almost like a gym membership, right? You pay monthly, but you can go in and use it as often as you'd like to. That's totally up to you.
Renee asks, is the Constant Contact logo at the bottom, or do you have to purchase a custom footer for each account? Do you mean at the bottom of the emails, Renee, or the bottom of, or the product that you're selling to each of your businesses? If it's the product, then yes, it is Constant Contact branded. One of the reasons for that, at the bottom of the email. Jenna, I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, at the bottom of the email. So as long as you're a paying account, just call into our support team. It takes about 2 minutes for them to click a button and to remove the Constant Contact logo from the bottom of the emails.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. I do want to add, with this initiative that the marketplace is really going through right now, and we're bringing in a lot of global brands, as we call them. G Suite was the one previous. Now we have Constant Contact. We're really leveraging the international, brand of these companies. So they're not white labeled products, because we believe that your agency and your company being able to say, I sell Constant Contact will bring you in so much more notoriety, and make you be as impressive as you can be. You're a partner with G Suite, you're a partner with Constant Contact. So that's our thinking there. There's some marketing services questions, but I'm going to leave those again for next week. If you guys could join that webinar, we'll have all of the experts ready to answer those questions. Ryan, Jenna, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you
so much for having us.
And I'm Amy. It was a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you again and see you next week. Bye-bye.